Hello everyone. So today I'm here to show the fourth experiment which is on process creation. So the first thing is in the first question we have to create uh, parent, child and grandchild. So these three things we have to create, and we have to generate uh, three things we have to create, and we have to um, generate the PID of each and every process: child process, parent process and grandchild process. And child ch- child should read the number of digits, and the grandchild should if the number grandchild should process if the number is palindrome or not. So again we have to, at last we have to show the process IDs of all the processes. So first I have created a PID for parent process, and fork is used for creating a child process. So uh, if the PID is less than 0, the fork is failed and child is not created. So the PID should be more than 0, the value should be more than 0. Else if PID is equal to 0, we directly create the child process, and we also create a parent ID for it. We get a parent ID. So parent ID. Next, this is the logic used to get the sum of digits. So sum is equal to sum plus n modulus 10. That is, we will get the remainder, and if we divide the same with slash n. So uh, this is the logic used to get sum of digits. So as I've already said that the first child need to give the sum of digits, so I've used this logic. And next, this is used for grandpid. So for grandchild we have creating it. So here also grandpid should be more than 0. If it is less than 0, fork is failed. Else if it is equal to 0, then it generates the grandchild and PID ID, and it also should display the parent PID. Now here the grandchild uh, should detect whether the number is palindrome or not. So this is the law. This is the program that I have done to know whether the number is palindrome or not. So after this thing, we simply we make the grandpid wait, and this the last statement, as in the question we have to possess all the parent, grand, child, all the IDs we have to possess. So this is the last statement we used to possess further. Lastly, we were making it sleep for 1 second, so we'll get a 1 second delay. After that, parent detects process the done bit. So now I'm going to execute it. So it generated a parent process, and it generated a unique PID ID. Now I'm entering a number. So here the child process is 11679 and the parent bit is 11676, the sum of digits. So in the question it is given that the first child, the child should add the sum of digits. So 3 plus 3, 3 plus 4 7, 7 plus 3 10, and the next thing, uh, it is a grandchild and the PID ID is 11680. So the parent PID is 11679. 343 is a palindrome. So the second grandchild, in the second point in the question is, the grandchild should detect the number is palindrome or not. So this is a palindrome, so it has said that it's a palindrome. And lastly, we have process all the IDs and processes of it. So it has shown us all the things here. Child process detects the grandchild, process detects 116, what done. Parent detects the process 11679 was done. So this is it, and now I'm going to show the second program. So this is a second program. In this program we need to create two chains, uh, and we need to give a user input. We have to give user to enter a string. So initially I've given to user, firstly I've created a parent process and a PID as well to get a PID, and then I've given enter the string because it is given in the question that we need to give it to the user. And after that, scanx percentages, it's for letters, so we have given percentages. So after that, fork is for creating child process. So we have to create two child processes, so we are given two times id1 and id2. id1 is for child 1, id2 is for child 2. id1 id1 is less than 0 or id2 is less than 0, we can't generate. Sorry, id2 id1 is greater than 0 and id2 is greater than 0. The parent process gets PID, and child process with the PIDs as well gets the PID. Both of them gets the PID. So for the first child, as the question said, the first child need to read the string and should display those in uppercase. So the first so uh, this is the logic that I've used to for reading and reading the alphabets. And after that I've set to I've set the to change it to uppercase string. The second child need to display the vowels in the string. So for vowels, we know we have to a e I o u. So these are the vowels. So I've given this as well, so that if there is another uppercase letter given by the user, it detects as well. So here I've given sleep 1, so it sleeps for 1 second before going for second child. Next, lastly, I've set the number of source in the string. So this to know the number of vowels, how many vowels are there, I set the program to print here. So that is all. Now I'm going to implement it. So So it has created in the process, the parent process, the PID ID is 714. So I'm sorry. I've entered the first one. I'm sorry. This is the program. CC space exp4 q2. Now it will run. So here I can see the parent process, the PID ID of it. Now I'm entering a string. I'm entering my name, John Abhishek. So we can see a 1 second delay over here because we are given sleep as 1. So we will get a delay of 1 second. So here child process 1. So in the question given, it has generated a PID ID as well, and the parent ID is 17729, the uppercase string. So the first child need to make a lowercase to uppercase, so my name turns out as uppercase. Now the second child and its ID is 11733, the parent bit is 11729. So the number of holes in the string is 4, and at last we process all the IDs. Parent process the parent process, the ID is this 11729. Child process, the ID is 11732 733. Child process, these both are child 1 and child 2 process. That's it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.